Teachers in the education system are always looking for a way to get their students to write. This is not an easy task, which is where the claim, evidence, and reasoning formula comes in, as it creates opportunities for students to write, specifically in the subject of science. Writing in science, you may ask? This may seem like a foreign task, as many view sciences as the subjects where students learn by doing. Experiments, demonstrations, and videos of real-world phenomenon is usually what is assumed. But for students to solidify their understanding and what they observe, they must put their own words in writing, as it becomes required. Claim, evidence, reasoning, also known as the acronym CER, is a format educators use to teach their students to get them writing about real-world phenomena using evidence to support their thinking. After viewing this video, the objectives that will be met are: Number 1, given a computer and access to the just-in-time training on claim, evidence, and reasoning responses, teachers will be able to describe the steps of the response process and the purpose of each step. Objective number 2, given a computer and access to the just-in-time training on claim, evidence, and reasoning responses, teachers will be able to identify examples of how this formula will look in a classroom setting. Lastly, objective number 3, given a computer and access to the just-in-time training on claim, evidence, and reasoning responses, teachers will be able to create a claim, evidence, reasoning response for their classroom. When posing a scientific question, students will use the CER acronym to answer the question. Students will first start out by creating a claim that responds to the question in one complete sentence. Next, students will provide evidence that supports the claim. This could be anything from a diagram to data to observations and even readings. Lastly, the response will round out by including reasoning that supports a scientific principle and describes how the evidence supports the claim. By using this formula, teachers not only now have a clear path to teach writing in science, but they also gain confidence knowing they are setting their students up for success in the classroom. This all sounds great, but what does CER look like in the classroom for teachers and students? This example here provides a glimpse of how it can look using an example about plant structure. The question is first posed for students, which is, what is one purpose of the plant's roots? Next, the student writes the claim. The claim that is written here uses one sentence. Here, the student's claim is that the purpose of the plant's roots is to hold the plant in the ground. Then, it is time for the students to provide evidence about their claim. This student was looking at a plant diagram in a science book and chose to use that as evidence to support their answer. Lastly, the student provides reasoning as to how this evidence is supporting their claim by explaining that based off of what they saw, the roots must hold the plant in the ground to make sure it is able to stand, be stabilized, and collect nutrients. This formula is fantastic for students and teachers, but what are the real benefits of using the CER formula? Using this format provides organization for students and gives them the opportunity to write more about science. It also scaffolds thinking for individuals so they do not feel overwhelmed with open response questions, and it also allows students the chance to support science concepts with hard evidence. Now that you've seen this scientific writing format come to life, go ahead and try it. What do you have to lose?